Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Teresa Dale with Natural Health Radio. I want to thank you for being with us today. We are coming to you from a rainy Ventura, California. We're getting a lot of rain here and expected more, and I think the plants and the earth really appreciate it. So we're also obviously live on Facebook today, as well as we're going to be aired on iHeart, on Amazon Alexa, on Spotify, on many, including Spreaker, many different places. So you're going to be able to listen to this later on, if not, on directly on Facebook. You can share this with as many people as possible because they're going to be getting some awesome information that sometimes people need in order to make a change in their life and to make their life better, right? So we want to welcome you to Natural Health Radio. I'm your host, and we're going to have today a special guest, Lydia Iwanoska from Chicago area, Illinois. And we are going to talk to Lydia today about physical and emotional well-being and the family unit and the family's health at the core of our lives, as well as human emotions. And we talk about that a lot, but human emotions at a core of our well-being. So human emotions are at the core of our well-being. And we're going to talk with Lydia about all of this. And Lydia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello, Dr. Dale.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hi. I'm going to get on my headphones, and I need to hear you just a little bit better. Here we go. Here they are. They were on the floor. Lovely. Okay. Sorry about that, friends. Okay. Now can you hear me, Lydia?
I can hear you very well, Dr. Dale.
Wonderful. Now we have everything together, including my headphones. So I wanted to welcome you to Natural Health Radio. And we are going to be discussing a number of things very important to the family unit and very important to individuals and how you function as a family unit. So we want to talk about health as a unit of strong correlation between emotional and physical well-being. And perhaps you can talk to me about that and tell me a little bit about that. Hello?
I'm sorry, that was a question to me, right,
Yes.
Dr. Dale?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, definitely, because as we all know, it's so important to feel well, and we grew up in different families, all of us. And let me just give you a very brief, short introduction. Where I was growing up, the environment was basically toxic. And from that toxicity, I acquired variety of emotions that were negative. And what that means is, of course, negative emotion has a very low vibration. And what that means to the body is that the physical well-being goes down with its emotions. Mm-hmm. So at the young age, I acquired variety of different problems. There were breathing problems, heart palpitations, and on and on and on. And nothing really helped me in terms of conventional medicines. I was dragged to the doctors. I was dragged to the hospitals. I was left for 3 months in the biggest European hospital at the time in Poland, in Warsaw. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to find a solution for my physical problems.
Right.
So as they were trying, of course, they gave me more and more medications, and that made me feel more and more sick. Eventually, then signed me out saying, we do not know the cause of your problem. And the problem at the time, my physical problems, were, for the 14-year-old, plenty. I had a heart problem. There were some atrial fibrillation. Again, there were the breathing problem. I was just getting flu and cold throughout the whole year. There was no moment that I remember I was healthy with the high fever. And, of course, the high fever, ongoing high fever, it takes its toll on the physical body as well. So, as we go on, I want to make the story as short as possible. One of the doctors said, when you come to America, because my mom, just mentioned that we have a family in America. So she said, as you come to America, probably all the things will get resolved because there are such a good doctors there. Okay, so I came to America at the age of 23, looking for, certain solutions to my problem. And actually my problems, I would say at this moment, really starting involving the physical problems, the physical malfunction of my body.
Right. So let me just interrupt you to talk to everyone that is listening right now. And many of you might feel that this is very familiar, that you had problems very similar, or you do have problems very similar to what Lydia is telling you right now. And so what we need to know is, and what they want to know is what fixed it. So can you tell us what helped you in those issues?
Yes, Dr. Dale. First of all, I want to be really clear that never, ever any medication helped me. Never, ever. It just put my body at the more distress. And, as we know, we talk about emotions, and we know, or at least we kind of get that emotion is important in our well-being. So I remember the times when I felt better, my body felt better. So I acquired cancer, I acquired multiple sclerosis, I had rheumatoid arthritis, I used to have toxicity of my whole body with mercury that was happening after, the doctors, the dentist visit, and so on and so on and so on. So at the core of all, there was unresolved issue of my emotional upbringing. I was just packed with the negative emotions.
So that was the key, was looking at and working with your emotions, and that helped. Did it help one thing or all things? How did that happen?
Good question, yes. I remember where I used to have 6 bleeding ulcers in my stomach, and it lasted for close to 3 years. It was like, well, what can be done? So again, doctors checked it out, and they said, well, nothing can be done. We have to remove 2/3 of the stomach. And I said to myself, oh, my Lord, I don't want to lose my stomach. I have to do something, and I didn't know what to do. I remember once, and I think that was kind of a breaking point in all of this, feeling the physical malfunction and my, emotional, disruption, I can say.
Right.
I started experiencing, we know that I believe in God, and I think, God puts us into the beautiful place on earth for certain reasons. And at that time, my kids, I have 2 sons, they were small and enough that they took naps, and someone would say, what is she talking about that? Because, everybody has a family, people have children, and I bring up my sons into the whole picture.
Well, I want to know exactly how, we were talking about you, and, you gave us all of that great information. Now, tell me a little bit about fixing that, and how did you fix that?
Yes, that's why where I was going with my sons. They were taking the nap, and I had given like an hour or 2 hours off in my, running my errands during the day. And somehow I got involved with nature. I spent more time in nature. When they were sleeping, I just took off to my little, backyard, and I spent time in nature. And I start day by day feeling better in a certain way. And I thought, oh my Lord, the bleeding in my stomach just got a little bit less, and I don't, spit as much blood as I used to, and my overall feeling is just better, and so on and so on. And that was my very first time, Dr. Day, of my whole life,
Right.
that I experienced feeling better by not doing basically anything.
Right.
Anything in terms.
And what's so interesting about nature, there's something called human resonance. Human resonance is broken down by physics to be 7.82 hertz frequency that comes through the ionosphere to the earth. And when you put your feet on the earth, when you spend time in nature, you get that frequency. So there is a healing vibrational frequency in nature. So I can definitely understand that and how that happens and how that could happen for a lot of people, right?
Right. And at the time, of course, I didn't know how to name it, what it is. I know God is involved. I know nature is involved. And from the disease, which I call intermolecular disorganization, I went into feeling better, into health, which is the intermolecular organization. And that sounds like a little bit scientific, but what really happened, I start feeling better at the core of my being.
Great. And so that was the first step, is spending more time in nature. And everybody listening right now, I want you to really hear that, is sometimes people are too busy at their chair, in a computer, in their office all day long. They get done, they go to eat, they go home, they go to bed. They get up and they do the same thing. What we need to do is go out and love nature and experience nature, because that brings balance back into our life. So did you have the same experience with your children?
It's very much so, very much. And that's why, we want to talk about the family health and the family emotions, because as the mother feels better, the whole family feels better, and we know that. As one unit in the family, I say unit, as a human being unit, right, of health, it gets stronger, it just brings the whole family together into that better place of life. Isn't it like that, Dr. Dale?
Right. Well, I think it's the mother is an anchor of the family to some degrees, as well as a father. I believe that fathers do. Most fathers are phenomenal, and everybody, I believe, needs a mom and a dad that's around. That's there, that's around, that they can talk to, that they can watch, that they can learn from. And when a parent is not well, whether it's a mom or a dad, is not well, where they're not paying attention or they're not giving the family what the family needs, which most importantly is positivity, emotions, love, caring, in whatever way that comes about, I think that children always feel like it's their fault. Like it's my fault that my mother doesn't give me that attention or my father doesn't give that attention. Kids always, every child I've ever had as a patient, always feels responsible for even a divorce. They feel responsible that things that they did something wrong. And I think the first thing for people listening is to tell your children that they're great, that they're doing the right things, that they're loved, that they're brilliant, that they're wonderful. Most of the time kids get a lot of negative emotions, right?
Yes, Dr. Dale. And as you mentioned, both parents are important, and I'm not taking away the power and the importance of fathers, not at all. I just wanted, I don't want to be misunderstood. I think, both parents are at the core of, where they are, with the family, and are both important. But what I wanted just mentioned is because I struggle at this, certain time in my life understanding what if there is a family that is dysfunctional. Let's say one of the parents, it has a drinking habit, right? It's
Right.
alcoholic, or it's abusive, or vice versa, or the mother is alcoholic and abusive, and so on. And I never also remember, I also remember that one time I came into that. I don't remember the book. It was a scientific-based psychology book that they mentioned that even though there is one dysfunctional parent in the family and the other one is not, the kids will be fine because emitting the emotions at the highest frequency, at least by one parent, it is good enough to have kids, that will grow into fantastic, grow, the adults and be happy and healthy. So, I just want to say that because sometimes maybe there is someone out there who listens to us and is in some kind of, situation in life that the other spouse and the children are at home where there is, the love, it's not at the highest vibration, right? Because
Right.
of something
Right.
that is going on with one of the parents. But I just wanted to assure you that the love is such a powerful frequency
Yes.
that
And it,
at least one parent brings this up to the whole unit of family. Kids
so you're
will
saying,
be fine.
what you're saying, it's as long as one parent is positive and loving and caring, then that would be an awesome thing. And if the other parent wasn't quite like that, that the children would hopefully gravitate towards that one parent that was giving them the nurturing, the loving, and the caring and the positivity. The only problem that I see, if any, is that when you've got one positive, caring, loving parent and the other one isn't, they can fight. They can find disagreements. They can fight. And I think that kids can get through that. I mean, I got through that. A lot of people can get through that, but not without work on yourself. So I believe that everybody who's been in a dysfunctional family, which is the majority of humans on the planet, okay, then we need to take responsibility ourselves by working on ourselves.
Precisely, yes. And, I think, it's just my opinion, but I think that sometimes kids of dysfunctional families are the leaders in the world, because they've seen both sides. They've seen the misery and they've seen the love, so they are very well equipped for the life circumstances.
Right. Right, I think so, and so that is an awesome thing, and we need to make sure we tell our children to communicate feelings, like what feelings are they having, and to ask them, like, what are you feeling today? And if they're acting a little strange, or, God, it's going to be a great day today. Can you imagine if every child woke up and was told, you are so fantastic. We're going to have a great day today. And just do that kind of work with them every morning. I think that those little things that we can do and that we don't do oftentimes can make a huge difference in the functionality of that child, as well as how they look at the world. If you wake up every morning and someone's telling you, you're amazing, okay, today you're going to have a great day, everything's going to go great for you today, then what happens is they create that reality. That's what happens.
Yes, Dr. Dale, as you said, paying attention to the words that we speak out.
Right.
Not just being unconscious of our mental being, because, mentality, because then the words will be the ones that hurt, the child hurt us, right?
Yes.
So being more conscious, just bringing up this consciousness focus into our daily life. And as you mentioned, when the child here's the parent being, happy, being, just positive. It follows that road, and it's so important. So it's up to us, right, as the grown-ups, what family life and the world life we have and peace in it.
Great. We're going to take a break for a minute. We'll come right back. Hang in there, Lydia, okay? We're just going to take a little break.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I want to share with you today is something that is in alignment with what we're talking about. And our break is to tell you that we're on Natural Health Radio, and you can find us Facebook Live every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. But even more than that, we're on 30 radio stations. We're on 10 radio stations that are terrestrial, meaning in your car, meaning you can get them on the radio. And then we're on iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Alexa, and so many other radio stations. So this Natural Health Radio is really gaining power and gaining steam to be able to help humanity. And you that are on listening today, I'm grateful that you are listening today, and would be just so happy if you could share this at the end of the show. If you like it, share it on Facebook to everybody, because this is how we make a change in the world. Oftentimes it's grassroots. Oftentimes you hear something from a friend, okay? And sometimes people need to hear it from themselves instead of their friends. So giving them the show would connect them with me and with Lydia, and we can help you. And the other thing in the break I want to share with you related to emotions is go to drdaleswellnessstore.com, and you can review neuroemotional remedies. They are designed to help you with your emotions, to release them, and there's no pain. It would be good if you felt your emotion and then you took the right remedy. We have 13 remedies. It's very clear on the label what emotions they're for. It's based on the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine, so it's accurate and it works. So you might want to check into that. If you feel like, oh my God, I'm just a mess, I can't just do a remedy, or then if you need a system, look up the Meta Wellness Program, which has my workbook that I wrote, music therapy CD, instructions, and this will give you a tool you can have for the rest of your life. And so you may want to look at that. Nevertheless, we're here to help. Those are some tools for you. Stay tuned to Natural Health Radio. And we're back to Lydia. Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Dr. Dale. Hello, everyone, once again.
Right. And so also I wanted to ask you a question about when you are working with people, you're working with a family many times, correct?
Many times. Basically, every week I have a family coming to me, which is, the whole family.
Yes.
Basically, they want to help their child or themselves. Yes.
Right. And so when you're working with a family all in one room, how do you find that? Do you find at first that they're a little iffy about it, or do you find that they've just been waiting for to let go of their feelings? How do you feel about that?
I think, the very first thing that I noticed, they are very curious. They don't know what to expect, because coming from the drug world of, what is being given to us, and we don't give that to, anyone, they don't know what to expect. So I always usually I open up our, visit with the patient or with the family, from the point that our heart is open to possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And we start, when we start notice any small thing that can lead to enormous discovery. And I take them into that discovery of how powerful they are to heal themselves through the power of emotions as well. Day by day, week by week. So they are in contact with me after the visit. We set up the time, for the visit if it's needed again and again, but we start with emotions because they are at the core of everything.
They
in our life.
They are. And I wanted to mention now that as you said in our first, few minutes that taking drugs have never helped you with anything. They're certainly not going to help you repair your emotions either. They are just going to block you from feeling it. You're going to be numbed out. Living your life from a numbed out place and is not healthy, number one. Number two, many of these medications you take for depression and other, depression and anger and suicidal thoughts and all of those things can exacerbate your conditions, can make violence worse, can make anger worse, and or can just shut you off from the world. So medication is not an option. Would you agree with that or not?
Very much so, because I'm seeing the teenagers, I'm seeing young adults in their 20s, and most of them were fed up with medication. And some of them come to me right after, as they were signed out of the hospital where they stayed for a few days or a few weeks. And at the stage as they are, it's just heartbreaking because they went there with hope that someone will help them. And some of them just signed out because they couldn't take it any longer. Because what they were going through emotionally and physically, they felt that they are sometimes at the end of everything, and they don't want to lose that life. So they just want to run away. And, by actually, having these negative experiences, they look for some other answer, for some other way of staying alive and staying well. And some of them, thank goodness, come to us, Dr. Dale, to people who understand, that the power of healing lies within us, not, in drugs.
Well, that's so correct, and I really appreciate your feelings and your research and all the things that you've done to fix yourself and to help other people. That's how you learn, is by fixing yourself. I mean, let's face it, if it didn't work, you wouldn't be doing it. It helped you. It changed your life. So naturally, you want to take all of that information and help other people. I want to say, anyone listening right now, please get a second opinion from your doctor if you're on drugs for emotional issues, any emotional issues. Go to another health provider, someone who works not with drugs, but rather with emotions, with natural medicine. Lydia is one person. There's many people out there that believe, like Lydia and I and thousands of other people, okay, that the way to health is working on your emotions, and it's done through feeling and through homeopathy and through discovery and understanding and communicating. In order to do that, you need someone who can communicate with you and take you to that next level. Okay, not keep you down in a dark hole, which is what many therapists end up doing, because that's, I feel, almost allopathic. You go to a therapist and you work on the same thing for a year, 5 years or more, and every time you go back, you get stuck in that old place, and it keeps reminding you of the negative. And what you need to do is see somebody who can actually help you release the emotion, or do the neuroemotional remedies and the meta wellness program. You need somebody who can help you release it, somebody you can talk to, someone who can direct you, and someone to share all of your positive gains, all of the positive experiences that you have by working on yourself and healing yourself. So I feel that doing therapy most of the time, and I'm not talking about everyone, it's never everyone. It's always like most people, when you go to therapy, you focus on the negative. What you need to focus on are your emotions. Feel them and then replace them with something positive. You don't get that when you go to a traditional therapist. Sorry to say, it's just not always going to happen like that. Although there are, I'm sure, therapists out there who do that. So now you know what to look for. Lydia, do you have anything that you would like to leave us with today?
Oh, yes, definitely. The things that we say, the things that we feel, has a vibration that can heal us or destroy us. And Dr. Dale made up wonderful things possible for us to use, like mind, body, meridian for each specific emotion that we may experience, right? As
right.
the feeling is. And that really, really, truly heals people, from the core of it all.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm sorry.
If I could have everyone that's online right now listening, I wish I could give you a remedy to try right now and tell me in 5 minutes how that makes a difference in your emotions, because it would in a short period of time. And you can get the Mind Body Meridian remedies from Lydia. So, it's only for health providers, and Lydia's a health provider. What's your phone number? Where can you be contacted?
Okay, my area code is 224-523-5196.
Can you mind saying it once more?
Yes, sure. 224-523-5196.
Great. Well, thank you so very much for being on the show, and we'll have you back again. Many blessings. Lydia, I love you. Take good care of yourself.
Oh, thank you. The last word, Dr. Dale, and everyone. The life you live and the world you live in is totally up to you.
Totally.
Totally up
Thank
to
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the life you live, the words you say, can make a huge difference for yourself and your family. So if you're working on things with your family, I would suggest using those neuroemotional remedies on my website, unless you're a health provider, and then you can get the Mind Body Meridian remedies. And they're very, very similar. So the ones on the website are as effective, and you can give that a shot. They're just a little different formulas, but neuroemotional remedies, if you're listening right now and you have emotional issues and emotional crises, and you don't know how something is going to change, or how it's how you're going to get through it, then consider working on your emotions so that you can make a change. As you think differently, life is differently. As you think differently, you feel things differently, and there are vibrations, so you attract different things. When you are positive, your vibration is positive, and it's leaving you open to attract that positivity. When you're negative, you're attracting negative. You're going to bring negative in. Your thinking is going to be, if your thinking is negative, and today is just a so-so day, it's okay, it's not, that's what you're going to experience. An okay, not so great day, that's the way it is with life. And you need to have an opportunity to train yourself read some positive books. Transform Your Emotional DNA is one of them. It's my first book. Then Revitalize Your Hormones is the second one. Both of them have information related to your emotions and how to change them. This is key. Emotions can cause aches, pains. Emotions can also cause many different symptoms, joint aches, joint pains. It can lower your immune system where you get colds and flus. It can create neurological issues. So emotions are the key to wellness, and communicating your feelings too. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, a lot of people don't want to communicate everything because they don't want to hurt the other person. But the other person, if you're thinking something about them or about something that's wrong, they're going to pick up the vibrations anyway. And even though you're not saying anything, they could react and give you more of that you don't like. And it can be worse. So you have to find a way to communicate, find a way to say what you need to say. Work on yourself first. Don't worry about changing another person. That's a waste of time. What you want to do is change yourself, and then you'll know what to do to facilitate change with that other person. And oftentimes they change automatically as you change because they're picking up your vibration. Everything is vibration. So we only have about 13 minutes left. I'm glad you're on there today. Thank you. You're trying to call in today. You can't call in. This is Facebook Live, Natural Health Radio. But what you can do is you can write a note I can see if you're going to communicate something in the column on my right. I can see. So you can write me anything. I will do my best to see it all and hopefully answer your question. What we need to know, very important, is about, I want to share with you something about polycystic ovarian syndrome. Okay, and this is something that many women have, and they are treated in ways that are barbaric, and I'm going to talk with you about it. So polycystic ovarian syndrome is something that women get. And how do they get it? It's cysts around the ovaries in that entire lower ovarian uterus area, okay? And those cysts are created from having too much androgen in the body, too many male hormones, okay? Too many male hormones. It actually can create it and exacerbate it. The only way to know what's causing it, that would be a cause, but the only way to confirm that is to do a saliva test. Saliva testing is accurate, and the one that I've created tests according to the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine, as well as it has the androstenedione test in it, and that tests male androgen hormones. And that is a really key test for seeing if a person has polycystic ovarian syndrome. Very easy to tell. You do the kit, you've got a kit, you spit, give the specimen, put it in the box, mail it into the lab. Very easy. Do it at home. It comes with instructions, and then it comes with a complimentary consultation with me. So when you get the results, I will get the results, and then we make an appointment. We talk about the results, and I help you in understanding how you can help yourself and fix the problem, okay? So polycystic ovarian syndrome is also called PCOS. It can be fixed, depending upon your levels of androgen hormones, depending upon your dental situation. If you have mercury, it can affect it and make it all worse. If you have root canals that's on a tooth, okay, that is related to your endocrine system and your ovaries and your uterus, and that tooth has a root canal in it, that possibly can inspire the proliferation of PCOS. Also, documentation and research has been done on insulin. Insulin can play a role in PCOS if the insulin levels are high. In other words, diabetics sometimes have more issues with PCOS. So we have to look at the 5-element saliva test. We also need to get, because of checking insulin and a number of other things, you need to get a test on my website. It's called the Comprehensive Wellness Panel, and that panel can be found if you go to wellnesscenter.net, hover over products, a link will open, a window, and you'll click on order blood tests. You order the comprehensive wellness panel. It's $97 for 51 tests. I got you all a 60% discount. It's normally a $500 test, $97. Go ahead and order that. You can order it yourself. You don't need to go to a doctor. I've arranged this for everyone. It's your blood. You should have the right to test it when you want to test it. So all you do is you order it, pay for it. They send you a receipt and a list of labs or drawing stations in the area where you live. And then nurses, you go in with the little receipt. Nurses draw the blood and send you home and say hi, and it's a real positive experience. So why not do it that way, right? And then they'll get you the results, and you can send them to me so I can review them if you want to do that. And if you want to do the saliva test, that would help with the hormones, the androgen. Okay, so both of those things would be helpful if you have PCOS, because we have to look at insulin levels, liver tests, liver levels, kidney levels. We have to look at also the heart and many, many different things. So PCOS is curable. It is curable by working with your emotions, by your education, and learning more about PCOS. And you're knowing exactly what your hormone levels are, so that if you're high in androgens, if it's very high, then we just use homeopathic medicine and natural things to address the situation after the testing assesses it. Okay, so all you need to do is to go onto Dr. Dale's Wellness Store, check out the saliva test, go to the Wellness Center, go under products, check out the blood test, see how that feels to you. It's an option for you, okay? For PCOS, many, many women have it, and the way that they're treated is surgery, oftentimes surgery with ovaries, and, this is not necessary in my opinion. Okay, so everything you're hearing on the show is because of my 35-year research and my opinion and all the research that I've done, and people that I've worked with and trained, and health providers, and doing over 20,000 before and after saliva tests, which I have evaluated myself and helped people get results. And I've done that third party through doctors. So I have a tremendous amount of experience with this, and it's really educational to guide you to do the right thing, including a diet for whatever it is that shows up. So I just want to share with you that if you want to go to your health provider to do this, just have him contact my company, and we will get him the information that he needs or she needs, and help them and train them and guide them to help you. We'll be happy to do that. That's what we do every day. I just want to share with you that as time runs out, that you have an opportunity to change things, that time is not running out for you, it's running out for this show. But time for you is now to make the changes, the positivity, because that changes your vibration, that changes how you experience life. You can imagine if you wake up positive every day, you're going to attract different vibrations to you, positive vibrations because you're starting off the day that way. That's why a lot of people like to meditate in the morning, clear their mind. But oftentimes they don't put in positive affirmations. And that is so very important, that you have a way to communicate to yourself first thing in the morning, just by saying, you know, you're awesome, you're going to have a great day, and you're going to experience wonderful things today. Wake up that way, and let's see how just that simple thing can make changes in your life. We've got about 5 minutes left now, and I wanted to share with you something that my staff asked me to share with you, that oftentimes our health providers that we train, that I train, that they have patients with health issues. And one of my staff was telling me about a woman who had breast implants, and that it started leaking, and that person was getting extremely ill and going to one of our providers that we train. And we want to talk about this just for a minute. A lot of women are not aware that if you have breast implants that have saline solution in it, it's not as negative. If you have silicone or, in there, then in your breast implant, then it can be extremely toxic for your entire body. And so in order for this patient to get help from the doctor, who they had silicone implants, they decided to get those removed. And because it's something that can be life-threatening. You can detoxify the body all day long, but sometimes if you have some breast implants with silicone, you're going to have to keep detoxifying for the rest of your life. And sometimes it might be better, if you choose to have them out. Whereas saline solution, which is salt in implants, as I was saying, is not as toxic, or not toxic. But there is something that can be considered toxic, and that is, there is a heavy metal called platinum that research show is in the lining, a part of the implant. And platinum is a neurotoxin. It's very, very toxic. It's great in jewelry, but not good in your body, not good in your mouth. Okay, not good in your body anywhere. So there could be some caveats, but I would really be most concerned about the silicone that's in implants. So we want to give that to you today and tell you that we have great detoxification products for any condition, and those are on our website, drdaleswellnessstore.com. They're organic, they're gluten-free, they're non-GMO, they're in veggie caps. Just try to detoxify the body and see how great you feel. Can you imagine that? And then also doing these little things to work on your emotions. You're going to have great results. I know it. And just keep up the good work. We only have a couple minutes left. In that, I want to share with you that every week we're going to be having a guest. Hopefully every week. I'm working on every week, but maybe not every week, but I'm going to try. And as a result of that, you will be getting various people's point of views, and then you will be able to, it might help you to see things in a different way. Everybody has a different way of communicating. I want to also share with you that the Kennedy Center, this is coming from left field, but I got a minute left. The Kennedy Center works at getting vaccines and mercury out of vaccines. And you can check that out online, the Kennedy Center. And that is very important. They're doing very good work to get mercury out of vaccines. Another place you want to go is to my friend Charlie Brown, who has a website called toxicteeth.org. Okay, you want to check that out because that's mercury and heavy metals. I want to thank you so much for being with me today. Many blessings to you. I can't wait to see you again next week. We're going to have a great show. Tune in. Have a terrific week. Don't forget to let us know and go to Wellness Center if you have any questions. Many blessings. Bye for now.